is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. Going beast mode when the game began. I worked all summer to be a champion. At Venice High School, all we do is win. Man, it feel good to be an Indian.
And welcome to this week's edition of the John Peacock Coaches Show. I'm John Massoni here with Venice Indian head football coach John Peacock. And Coach, regional championship last Friday night, Pal Davis Stadium. A familiar foe, the West Orange Warriors, a very talented football team out of the Orlando area. We actually had a similar scenario played out where West Orange came to Venice in 2021. And the results were the same, with the Indians with a victory, 55-26, to get the 8th out of the last 9 years as far as regional championships.
Yeah, and I think the only one in there that wasn't was the COVID year, which was kind of
which was an odd year.
Yeah, kind of weird. The wasn't a true region. It was everything kind of got changed after the
some
season
teams
started.
Weren't playing. There was
a whole bunch of teams that weren't playing. Miami Columbus High School was one of them that did not play. They just played in there. I think Miami-Dade had their county championship deal, and they actually won it.
And I think they played only a limited amount of games.
Yeah, I think they only played 7 games, 6 or 7
like
games.
That. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the kids did a really nice job. I thought they came out focused right off the bat. You know, they tried an onside kick, and Maldonado did a great job of recovering it and giving us great field position.
That could have been that was a momentum swing and a game-changing scenario, because if that's effective and they get good field position, all of a sudden there's a whole lot going on. They stole possession. But
he did an unbelievable job of recovering that and setting our offense up with great field position.
And then, of course, we were able to score right away. And then it goes back to the other way where now you're kicking off to them. And that scenario is played out with Bruno Royce kicking touchbacks where you start at the 20 every single time.
Well, not every time. He was a little short.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It can be very.
But yes, 99.5%.
It just feels like, man, here we go again.
Yeah.
And then you. One penalty, a 5-yard penalty, makes it even worse. And you'd like to think your whole playbook's in front of you, but it's not, because you're not going to make a throw or a play where now all of a sudden you're down 14 and you haven't got 2 plays into a game.
It's funny you mentioned that, because when you're watching film, you're watching all these games and you're seeing the kickoff return, they return it to the 50, and you're like, I don't have to worry about that.
Right. Right. You're 100% right. And then one thing we talk about too is that. How, and no matter if there's 56 kids on a football team, you never know which person is going to make a play or have to make a play.
Right.
You can guess all day it's going to be Gator, it's going to be this person, that person, but that play by Maldonado is significant.
Huge, yeah.
He did his job,
right.
And how important that is to move forward in that thing. Every player should know that. Hey, he did his job, and guess what? That's a difference maker.
Yep.
That one play, and he did his job, and I think that's where a lot of times with football being a team sport the way it is, it's no different than the guard making a block or somebody not doing something.
Right.
Everybody doing the right thing in unison, and that first play was something that really set it off for everybody.
It was. It set the game off right away, and you're just like, oh gosh, they gave us a short field.
Yeah, no doubt. Gator Wilder, big rushing night, 11 carries, 238 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Small rushing night, with only 11 carries. Big production.
High volume, low
volume, high production.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
22-something yards a carry.
26.
He just had you could see he had that flow going.
Offensive line is playing great. Just this week in practice, I thought this was probably their best week of practice. I don't know if that's going to correlate Friday night, but Coach Hunter has got those guys buying into what they're doing, and we've had some really, really good practices inside.
Jace Nixon again was efficient at quarterback, 15 out of 20. You liked, or he's distributing the ball to his 2 big guys, as far as Watkins and Motulovic are concerned, but seems to have a good grasp of what's going on, especially in the pocket. He seems comfortable in that role.
When he makes quick decisions and gets rid of the ball, that's usually a pretty positive play.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about that. Defensively, a couple of big plays. Great stat line for Ashari Charles.
He had
sacks,
a big night.
QB pressures, fumble recovery, fumble cause, I should say.
Cause fumble, yep.
And so all that happened in it. I think him and then Marsters as well. Yeah, he had a nice game as well. But all considered, everybody played a role in it. So I think the defense is continuing to improve every week.
Yeah, they are. They are definitely getting better. and Ashari had an unbelievable game as far as, the highlights you'll see,
Right.
tackles for loss,
Right.
sacks, pressures, tip balls.
And
you name
he
it.
could have had 5 sacks in that game. There was a couple plays where it's like a second away from, or
big
less than a
hits
second.
and big hits on the quarterback.
Right.
And, missed thrown balls. Yeah.
And again, they were a very athletic team. Quarterback, you had said before the game that he could run around and make plays, and he did. Off schedule kind of plays like that. They probably had, there was a point in the second half where they lined up about 5 guys that were all about 6'1", and could
extremely
run.
athletic.
Yeah, very athletic. And you're like, wow, this is going to be a test, because see, these guys are all going to run out and run patterns and getting the ball in their hands, and they did make some plays. There's no doubt about it. Which you're going to get in the playoffs. You can't look at a situation and say, well, you know what, we're going to shut them down. They're not going to get any yardage. No, you're going to play against a team who's going to get some of their stuff no matter what you do.
Well, I tell you what, it is the playoffs, but everything gets real this week.
Yes.
A lot of people want to say, so and so has had an easy walk through the playoffs, but people got to play some people this week.
It all starts to get very evened out.
Yeah.
And then you see that around. We have a lot of teams in the area.
There's not going to be anything given.
Yeah, we mentioned that later on in the show, but a lot of teams in the area that are still in it, which is kudos to the 941 area code scenario there, where everybody is there's just some teams that are looking at being semifinalists, and some teams that have been there before, and so that's an interesting way to play it out. So let's do this. Let's take a break. We're here at Bogies. You were on a roll. You were doing something different every week.
Yeah, and I didn't like
kind of went back a little bit.
I didn't like the special tonight, so I went back to the BLT.
But you jazz it up.
Yeah, I put extra egg on it.
There's a whole bunch of stuff on there.
Cheese on there.
Definitely look good. But again, Bogies is getting their seasonal busyness going here, and the weather is football weather, like we always say. Any weather is football weather.
Right.
But started getting to that area now. So come down to Bogies when you get a chance. Great food. I had the buffalo chicken salad. So again, come on down and enjoy that. With that, we'll take a break. Come back here and look at the highlights from Friday night's game against West Orange Warriors right after this.
Thank you to our 2024 sponsors, Jenkins Chevrolet, the Hupp Group, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Tervis Tumbler, Absolute Aluminum.
Last, we'll have to thank SCF, State College of Florida, Lightning Fast Car Wash, Bogies of Venice, and Chick-fil-A in Pelican Plaza.
Education, career, future. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu.
And we're back here at Bogies with the John Peacock Coaches Show. And Coach, these games have provided a lot of highlights for the highlight reel. So I'm sure we need to get off this and get on that real quick, see if we can get everybody in there.
Let's take a look at
All
it.
right.
So the first series, again, we got great field position. Ryan has a nice catch here. That was on a third down.
Third down play, yeah.
All the way down to 10. We didn't have Gators' first touchdown in there. For some reason, the film kind of messed up.
Well, there's Marsters making somebody's.
Yeah.
Early in the game, he was in the backfield quite a bit.
I think that was Marsters and Zarkowicz, and then you see a sack here by Marsters here later. That was a huge play too. Here's Gators' second or third carry, and he takes it all the way to the house. Again, he averaged 26 yards a carry Friday night. He's got a little different thing to him than
you're 100%
a lot of these running backs.
Again, there's pressure again, and he's sacked again on that one.
Yeah, that was Eli on the sack there. And then he had a miscue here, and we were able to put him pretty deep here right inside the 2-yard line. Shari makes a nice play here backside.
He's so fast you kind of miss him when you're watching it live.
Another great throw and catch here to Winston, and Ryan does a good job blocking out front. Almost were able to make a play and score a touchdown there. And then it's John Ford, who got to play a lot Friday night with his. I don't know if it was his first touchdown, but I think he scored before.
Yes, but that was he looked good. He looked real good.
Tackled by Zarkowicz and Ashari there. And Gator got back in, and again, kind of same results. That was probably his shortest carry of the night.
It might have been.
Yeah. Another
Nice
nice play
play
by Winston.
Getting upfield, too.
Yep.
Getting that first down. Important.
You see Ashari running those plays down backside.
Good play right there. Marsters holding
another,
on.
Yeah, another sack, I guess,
Yeah.
by Marsters. And then here we go, Gator again. He didn't score here, but he pick up 40, 50 yards.
He had 2 runs of over 50 yards, and that was one of them.
And then nice play here by Winston, a little short screen.
And I like the fact that he got it upfield and he stretched out for the touchdown. So,
Yep. Little hitch there to Matulovic. We'll see another one here later up. Turns a hitch into a 60-yard gain.
I thought
Great play by Cole.
Right, because he's there and they got the pressure on him. So
yeah, huge third down, and then
everybody get in on that one.
Yeah, everyone got involved in that sack.
When all 4 guys get in there, you're doing something. Here's Gator again.
Yeah, Gator again. It was just really, really good night for him. You see the guys working downfield, Winston and Malachi there working downfield. Here's a hitch that turns into a big gain.
And you see Ryan's speed. I mean,
Yeah.
from my position, it looked like they had the angle on him, and he just could put it into another gear. And they tried different running backs. They had a guy who was a little bigger. They
put that other quarterback in late and put the receiver or their other quarterback at receiver.
Right, and he was a freshman. Number 18 was, and he threw a nice ball.
No, he did. He did a nice job. I'm surprised he didn't go that longer. That was the hit I was talking about.
Yeah.
I think that Eli was actually the one that hit him there.
Right.
And then we were able to cause a fumble here and get the ball back to the offense.
That was Weatherington and Jones with a second fumble recovery.
Yeah, Cole had a nice game Friday night. Let's see Gator again.
Yeah, pulling away at this one. And that's the thing, he can get you with the top end speed, but he's also just elusive. He just hard to bring down.
The things he does in the hole, like in middle of traffic, that he's still getting vertical on is what's impressive. That's why he's so good.
That's played right there was bad snap or a little lower snap, and it's just
another sack by Ashari. Then he comes up here and he has a sack caused fumble, and we were able to recover. And that's John Ford. Nice. This was third down.
Yeah,
that was a nice run by him. And then Winston here in our jumbo package. They will get the first down. Here was 4th and 2, and he picks up about 8.
And it was decisive. That was go get the first down, which you want to see.
Another nice throw and catch from Jace to Ryan. Then we got Macho into the game here.
2 carries.
2 carries and a touchdown. Yep.
This was the one that got called back.
I wish we could have got this one back, but it was great play, great effort by these kids. And unfortunately,
we couldn't see where it was called. I know it was backside.
It was our guy got hit. Their guy hit our guy, and our guy kind of bumped into one of their guys, just kind of ricocheting off him. So it wasn't really a truly clip, but it was just something they saw late and didn't see the whole play.
That was the first time all year there was a play back behind the play that got called, because that used to be a regular occurrence.
Right.
And I don't know if it was just high school football in general, but everybody's getting hip to that, and they're better with it for sure.
Here's another screen here to Winston. We do a nice job blocking. You see Malachi there leading up front.
You see, like I said, it said the blocking downfield is phenomenal.
Yeah, they do a great job.
That's Garza back up right there with this. So 55-26, your final score. Looking at the highlights and seeing everything again, the standout, like I said, how the D line was controlling the line of scrimmage. Those highlights, you saw a lot more of maybe defensive highlights than we see in the past, but you've seen everybody contributing, everybody getting in the backfield, everybody making plays. And when they're in there, there's Marcis and Zarkowitz and all of the linebackers to back them up. So you look at that, and that was I would consider that not dominating and all but very very structured, well done. You would love to get that kind of performance every week.
Yeah, I think we've had some kind of weird games leading up to that as far as defense goes, where the other team is trying to bleed the clock the entire game, which they did a little bit Friday night as well. And you're seeing we haven't seen anybody try to throw the ball around on us just for the simple fact of them wanting the clock to not run.
Right.
So I think Friday night when they came in and West Orange was trying to run a balanced offense in their offense, they got our guys a chance to rush the passer and to defend some plays in the back end. So that was nice to see. I've
always said, even going back to some of the teams that had some really good defensive linemen, that sometimes it's competitive with the guys. I got one. We're trying to get there together,
right?
And I think that feeds into a game like that, where all of a sudden it's like a frenzy of some sort. Like, hey, he got there. I'm gonna get there the next time. I want to get there before him. And you love to see that because that's what you want. You want them to be competing with each other to get better. You see a lot of that as time has gone on. Plus, I mean, these guys have played together for a little bit. You know what I mean?
They should be really cognizant of how the other person plays and what to expect from them. I see a big improvement with our linebackers. Marshall's has been making plays all year long, but I think he's starting to really understand how the offense or the defense works and where he's supposed to be and defend passes. He almost had like 2 interceptions Friday night.
Right.
Zarkowicz has been playing great. Judson has come along being a real physical player, and Rue shows up every Friday night. Effort to the ball.
When you don't see the guy who made the tackle, it's usually him because he's stealth. Like, he gets in there and he's down there and he is he doesn't let go. There's no doubt about that. He's been a standout as well. So, and then of course on the offense, you can see a little bit, especially in the highlights, how Jace is in the pocket and he's just, like I said, rhythm throws, throwing people open, getting the right spot. And then, of course, the downfield blocking on some of those plays has been really good as well.
Coach Nickerson with the receivers, he does a really good job of enforcing them to be blockers. And Winston's probably our best blocker. He's very physical and loves to get involved every play and does a great job for us. And Malachi's getting a lot better as well.
There are no runs that go over 50 yards or 40 yards without downfield blocking.
No doubt. No doubt.
Sometimes you say, "Oh, this is a great 7-yard." Well, it could have been a really great 50-yard run if there's some more blocking downfield. You're not always going to get the guy, but that's something that I don't know if everybody can do that. You know what I mean?
You're right. Everyone can't do it. It's not easy.
Right.
I mean, they're not trying. Not the defenders aren't sitting there letting you go block them. So there is some skill to it, and you definitely have to have some physicality to you.
You've got to want to do it. I mean, for all trying to get open, running patterns, that's fine. But you really got to want to be a blocker.
We got some really strong receivers. I think Malachi's like a 340-pound bencher, and Ryan's a 315 and 320-pound bencher. Winston's almost there. Hopefully, he gets it this next week.
Again, and it lends itself to not only the blocking side of it, but getting open. You know what I mean?
Getting open, being physical with the receiver.
Someone puts hands on you, and you're like, okay, I got this. There's a big difference in that when you can kind of run through that or get away from that without having to put maximum effort to do it. And I think that's why you see plays downfield getting open, because they can get off the line easier and make plays.
Right. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, strong kids, physical kids, and they do a heck of a job blocking.
Special teams, again, we saw a little bit about special teams, but very close to having some spectacular stuff, with the punt returns and whatnot. So
I think every time, how many special teams touchdowns has Winston got called back?
Oh, I think 3 now. I know it's definitely 2, but it could be 3.
There was a bit long kickoff return versus.
And there was another punt
Coco,
return, so
I think.
It could be 3 that he got called back.
Yeah, or maybe it was Miami Northwestern, but it was a big game, and the referee missed half the play and saw our kid thought he cut blocked somebody, but he really got hit in the back by their player.
At all levels of football, you see, I bet you the percentage of plays that penalties are called on special teams has got to be triple the offense, comparable. Because like I said, and I think part of the problem is, obviously one team's running one way and somebody's chasing them down to try to block them. But the other part of it is that everything's out in the open.
Yeah.
There's no line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? Like you miss something. Everything there might be a spotlight on everybody because you can see if you push somebody a certain way or do something the wrong way.
Right.
And I think sometimes when all those referees have something to look for,
sometimes they're ready.
They're ready to
They're
throw
ready
it.
to throw
Yeah,
a flag.
they know it's
Yeah.
there. They know
Yeah.
it's there for sure. So we'll do this. We'll take a break. Come back and talk about our opponent on Friday night, Miami Columbus, another familiar foe. So we'll get a chance to talk about them and see what they have to offer. We'll be back here at Bogies with the John Peacock Coaches Show right after this.
Thank you to our 2024 sponsors, Jenkins Chevrolet, the Hupp Group, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Tervis Tumbler, Absolute Aluminum.
Last, I'd like to thank SCF, State College of Florida, Lightning Fast Car Wash, Bogies of Venice, and Chick-fil-A in Pelican Plaza.
Education, career, future. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu.
And welcome back to the John Peacock Coaches Show here at Bogies. And Coach, Friday night, 7:30, Powell Davis Stadium. This is why you make the schedule as tough as you do. One of the reasons.
Right.
You get that fourth game where you're going to have a home game on Friday night against a very good. And I think we had talked a little bit about the Miami Columbus earlier, and you used the word balanced. I have a thing about the word balance. Balance is the key to everything. You know, if you have balance in parts of your life, everything seems to run smoother. And much more than on a football field. If you can be balanced, then you have a lot of success. Tell us about them a little bit.
Well, they're extremely well coached. They play disciplined football. They're very disciplined on defense. They know where to line up. They know what their assignments are. Right. They know what coverage they're in. So I don't think we're going to get any easy scores off of blown coverage or someone not being in their correct gap. So that's one thing that that jumps off film is that you can tell that they're coached very well,
Right.
And they've had some great success in the recent years. I think they've won 3 out of the last 4 state championships. They won 4M twice the last 2 years. So they're going for 3. This year will be 3 in a row.
Right.
The year before that, we beat them in the semifinals, and the year before that,
they won.
I think that was the COVID year, right?
Yes.
Right.
So they were in the
Yeah. So that was the COVID
county
year. So
championship.
they were
or
undefeated, and they won the Miami Broward County Championship deal. And the year before that, they won it.
Yeah.
And then they were runner-up a couple times previous to that. So they've had some big-time success there at that school.
The funny part about it is, not to interrupt you, but like you hear a lot about the other schools,
Right.
And rightfully so. And they're splashier, the national rankings or whatever they are. But this is a team that, they're like they could have got a belt or a machine like way to go about it. This is not. I would be wrong to say they're not flashy. I haven't seen any film.
Well,
on
I
them,
think
I think they do it right.
In the same area, you have Miami Central, who's won. I mean, I don't know how many in a row or been there how many times in a row, but multiple state championships. And then you got St. Thomas, who's won. They're going for their 6th in a row.
Right.
And they're only going for their 3rd in a row.
Right. So I'm saying, but sometimes you get buried under that.
Yeah, they get buried.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, who the heck are they? Just get 3 in a row.
Right. Right.
But you know what I mean? Like they're a very, very talented football team, and they've basically been running the larger classes for the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Last time we saw them, again, they seemed that I think it was pretty much the same way you looked at them. They had that, like you said, it looks like it's supposed to look.
Right.
You see guys doing the right thing. They're in spaces, and I think when you see that as another coach, like you being the coach against them, you sort of have to respect the fact that they're not gonna give you anything. You've got to go out and earn
Right.
that run.
There's positives and negatives to that as a coach. I mean, the positive thing is like I think we're going to know how they're going to line up and how they're going to play on defense, but the same with us. I mean, they know how we're going to line up and how we're going to play on offense. So I don't think there'll be any surprises as far as what either of us is doing Friday night, for one, and then two, they're just not going to give you anything. You're going to have to earn it, like you said. Like they're not going to turn the ball over. They're not going to make any mistakes on special teams, and we're going to go out and earn it.
Right, and that's what I said when you get to this level, when you're state semifinal game, it's very rarely that as a team that's not at least really close to being that disciplined.
Right, it's like playing ping pong. I play these kids in ping pong in the locker room, and they want to. They're flashy and they want to do this. If I just sit there and dink it back, and they're going to make a mistake. Right, and they're going to get beat.
And then they overreact.
Right. So this is something that they don't do.
Right, no doubt about it. You said a little about the defense. Offensively, any standouts or anything we look at from the offensive side of the ball?
Offensively, like you said, they're balanced. They run the ball well. They throw the ball well. They do have two quarterbacks that they rotate, and they're very similar. They look very similar. They don't, when one comes out and the other one comes in, the game plan doesn't really change. The offense doesn't change. The quarterback is just changing. So, other than that, you're going to see a very balanced football team. Yeah.
Well, and probably a great football game. So with that, Powell Davis Stadium, 7:30 on Friday night. Everybody, these are the ones you never forget.
State semifinals. It doesn't get any bigger.
You don't get that all the time, right? That's as much as you can do in the state of Florida is to have that game at home.
Yeah, and it's the last game at
Powell Davis
current stadium.
Right, I was going to mention that. So let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll wrap up tonight's show. Be right back here at Bogies with the John Peacock Coaches Show right after this.
Thank you to our 2024 sponsors, Jenkins Chevrolet, the Hupp Group, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Tervis Tumbler, Absolute Aluminum.
We'll also have to thank SCF, State College of Florida, Lightning Fast Car Wash, Bogies of Venice, and Chick-fil-A in Pelican Plaza.
Education, career, future. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu.
Back here on the John Peacock Coaches Show, and Coach, before we went to break, you mentioned last game at what we know as Powell Davis Stadium.
Yeah.
This week, it'll be torn down and redone, hopefully done for graduation, with a brand new artificial turf field and new everything. So let's just say
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, new everything.
So
nothing's ever going to be the same.
Yep. And so anybody who's an alumni and who's got any sort of warm heart for that grass field, and we all kind of do in some ways, come on out and watch a great football game.
Yeah, and Saturday you can come out, I think, 3 o'clock, and you're allowed to bring whatever you want to take some grass in and a shovel.
Saturday or Sunday? There's a soccer game, I thought.
I think it's Saturday after the soccer game
at
3 o'clock, I think it is. So,
okay.
Yeah, I think they have shovels there for you. You can go pull up some sod and plant it in your backyard.
There you go. And that grass grows well. We know that for
Does
sure.
It?
Oh, listen, that grass is the same grass that's been there for 60 years.
Yeah.
Something's right with that grass.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt about that. And also we want to make sure everybody knows, if you can't make it to the game, the NFHS Network is where we'll be on broadcasting. The link is in the description. Down here. And so go ahead and look that up in regards to watching the game if you can't make it. So do all those different things. But, guys, this is it. This is the best. This is the biggest game we can have at Powell Davis Stadium at any year at all. And we know that for sure. And there should be a really entertaining football game with two very disciplined, very high-level, championship-level teams. No doubt about it. Well, Coach, here we go. See what happens on Friday night, right?
Yeah, hopefully we're talking about a win next week.
No doubt about that. So for John Peacock, I'm John Masoni. Thank you guys for watching the John Peacock Coach Show. We'll see you here next week. Hopefully talking about a big win.
Yeah.
See you then. Have a good night.
What time is it? Game time. 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 Corn beast mode when the game a champion. At Venice High School, all we do is win.